No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do. And that's why I'm so blessed to be able to introduce him tonight, because he understands the fight that we're up against.
I told y'all this woman is not grieving. She's glowing. She's literally happier than a cat at a fish fry. Look at her. And not only did she have adoring eyes for JD Vance, same adoring eyes for Donald Trump. Sis is laughing all the way to the bank. Somebody say, oh, we love Charlie. She like, Charlie who? And understand, those of you who love Charlie Kirk, you're grieving more for Charlie Kirk than she is. This woman has moved on faster than the Wi-Fi at a hotel lobby. Look at her. She's smiling like she found out her student loans were forgiven. Oh, but it don't end there. Now, when I saw this picture, I was like, now, wait a minute. We're going way too far here. Somebody need to call HR, because I know for damn sure this hug comes with benefits. Look at her. She's grieving like the insurance check already cleared. She got the money's in the bank. She looks freer than a kid on their last day of school. Y'all got to understand, none of this is happenstance. So when y'all see all that performative grief, she's laughing all the way to the bank. Don't get it twisted. Sister girl is leaning into this victimhood shit and making money, money, money. Faux show.
Listen, I've been seeing the photo of Erika Kirk and JD Vance where she's, hugging him and holding his neck. Me just touching myself back here, that just feels so sensual. If I was JD Vance's wife and she gripped his head like that, I would have tore that whole stage up. Whole stage, I would have tore it up. Because you see, when me and my husband was just out hanging out and this lady came up and put his hand on his back and she kind of like did like that a little bit, I snapped. They definitely got something going on. But anyway, this lady I'm about to post, she put it all in perspective for this heifer. The old people used to call them heifers. Erika is a heifer. She a heifer. Anyway, check this out.
I studied heiferonomics. You might want to call me a heiferologist, because I know heiferistical behavior when I see it. And that right there, oh baby, that right there. See, let me tell you, let me show you. Anytime a woman take her hand and drive it up the back of a man's neck into his hairline sequence, and when her hands go up and take a butterfly effect inside his hairline, it's something going on in that. Oh, it's way deeper. We see just surface stuff. I see the intimacy of it all. Oh, yes, it's something way deeper than what we see. And what we see is of obviousness that it's more than just we working on the same side. No, you working more than just the same side. You ain't like this, baby. You like this. And every time a heifer run her hands up in Herman's head like that, she can go ahead and tell her family to make funeral arrangements. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Teresa.
And I'm Scholar, and if you're new here, welcome to Sister Talk Reacts. So today we are going to talk about a viral hug between Erika Kirk and JD Vance that got Black Twitter and TikTok turning into detectives once again.
So, and before we go deeper on this topic, let's first of all see how people reacted on this hug. Then we'll come back with the full commentary at the end of the video.
I saw this was trending with Erika Kirk hugging JD Vance and putting her hands all in his hair. And it made me want to ask, would you be okay with someone hugging your man like this? And maybe their husband just died. And maybe they really admire your husband. And they say they do, and he's awesome. And they just want to give him a big old hug. Personally, I think this breaks girl code on a lot of levels. And I may be psycho and jealous, and that's okay. And I'm not wanting to change it. It may be a toxic trait that I'm not willing to address, but if someone dug their manicured nails into my man's scalp like this, no, we're not doing that. I'm pretty nonchalant, but something about this just irked me, bothered me, and this is not even a political post about these people or anything they believe or stand for or their ideology, whatever, none of that. This is just this isolated event. Is it cool? Is it okay? I don't know.
JD Vance is accused of cheating on his wife with Erika Kirk.
What happened?
JD Vance was seen on stage inappropriately touching Charlie Kirk's wife because when she went in for a hug, they embraced each other really intimately. And she put her hand on the back of his head. His hands were on her lower back and moved to her waist.
Why would you hug her like that?
At first, it seemed innocent, but it was long and weird. And JD Vance's wife was in the crowd as well. Everybody was disgusted and weirded out at their hug because they looked at each other in the eyes for a long time and just stood there and then continued. Then JD Vance said he wished his wife was Christian and wasn't Hindu. Live while he was giving a speech to America.
He dissed his wife on stage?
No! He was just making a comment. But it got even worse because when Erika Kirk went on stage, she said JD Vance reminds her a lot of Charlie Kirk and he shares a lot of the same attributes and qualities. And people started making weird faces that she would say that after hugging him like that. Now people are saying they don't trust her.
Who acts that way with a friend, especially in front of their partner?
That was the weird thing, because when JD Vance was on stage saying he wished his wife was Christian, she had her arms folded the whole time and she looked uncomfortable, but she was smiling. But then an old clip came up from another day of JD Vance saying to his wife while he was giving a speech, she has to smile no matter what he said. And now people think JD Vance is preparing to divorce her. This is all alleged.
I mean, how can we expect loyalty out of him when he can't even be loyal to his own country?
At first, I was giving her all the grace in the world, right? Your husband get hit like that in front of the whole world, I'm giving you grace. But now the stargazing and the overly dramatic emotions is coming off really, really weird, all right? On top of that, at the event the other day, the way her and JD Vance were hugging just seemed a little touchy. I'm not claiming that there's anything going on there. I'm just talking about the visual and the way it looked. It did not look right, okay? I'm not the only person that's saying this or thinking it. But the over dramatic, I understand she's a trained actor, I believe, right? And a model, but that can't be your whole personality. And it seems like that's her entire personality. Everything she does just seems like she's playing a role, right? It's just giving everybody the icks. On top of how close her and JD Vance has came. Now there's rumors swirling and roaring about JD Vance possibly leaving his wife for Erika Kirk. Listen, if JD is dumb enough to do something like that, his political career is over, because you show zero loyalty to anything. You married to the brown woman, Sasha. You picked your poison. You made your bed. You got to sleep in that bed, all right? I understand that the right is getting real racialist right now, but I don't think that's the play, all right? I don't think JD Vance is leaving his wife for Erika, but the dramatics around this entire thing is just starting to stink. Really, it's starting to fucking stink, all right? To be honest, I'm off of Erika. I'm off of TPUSA. I'm off of it. Too many lies, too much hiding, too many secrets. Nothing about that entire situation, that group over there, is giving me any confidence in the future of America.
I've gotten several requests to decode this video with Erika Kirk. and JD Vance. Let's look at JD Vance's side of the hug first. He gives a tight hug with a pat on the back. So some people often pat people on the back. That's just kind of how they manage a longer hug. And for some people, that patting on the back is what they do to comfort someone else. He also rests his hands after the hug for a second on her waist area, which can be a sign of affection and or romantic interest. It's the move to slide her hands up and grasp and cradle his head that is getting so much attention. This is a move that we women do when we are in a deep kiss, which is why it looks so very intimate. Erika then ends her hug by grasping his shoulders, which is a sign of affection and closeness. That said, grief can do really wonky things to humans, but this is wonky for sure. I'm Yanni Sarnblad, and I teach microexpressions and all things nonverbal.
Understand that if my husband hugged anyone like this, other than me, it'd be the last hug he ever gave. Listen, here's the thing. I'm not the jealous type. I know that sounds ironic, but I think it's flattering when people hit on my husband and flirt with him. Because I'm like, yeah, I think he's fine too. I get it. But this shit, that hug is intimate, right? That's a Nicholas Sparks kind of hug right there. That's a book talk type of hug. The way that he has his arms around her waist, her hand in his hair, the way he's looking at her, my God. Sorry, my husband's only allowed to look at me that way. Or Orville Peck, or Chris Evans, or Jonathan Bailey. Only those 4 people, though. But that right there, ooh, that's going to piss me. Usha, baby, JD Vance's wife, what you doing? Second lady, wake the fuck up. I think your husband might be having an affair. And Usha, baby girl, listen, I just need you to have a little bit of self-respect. A little bit, right? If it wasn't for his like racism and you being a woman of color, you know, if that wasn't enough, this blatant thing right here, he was just caught saying yet again, he wants his wife to convert to Christianity because he doesn't like that she's not a Christian. What does he like about you, babes? Usha, baby girl, aren't you tired? Leak stuff about this entire administration, okay? Just do it, girl. Burn the whole thing down. I know you can, but you won't. And that pisses me off.
Baby, the way Erika Kirk hugged JD Vance on the stage the other night at that Turning Point event was given very cringy and very disrespectful. That is not the way you hug a married man. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all, in her speech, as she's introducing him, she says, and I quote, "No one will ever replace my husband, but JD Vance has a lot of similarities." And then when this man comes on stage, she literally gives him this very intimate and passionate hug, as though her hands are all in the back of his head. Baby, the only thing that was missing was the kiss to seal the deal. Do you hear me? And then when JD Vance gets on the stage and starts his speech, honey, I don't know if the man was soft launching his divorce or what. He sits up there and say how he hoped that his wife changed her religion to Christianity because of what? Because of what? So now you're saying you want a Christian woman like Erika? I don't know, y'all. I know this lady is a grieving widow and her husband just passed away and all this other stuff. But every time that lady opens her mouth, she gets cringy. She gets more darker. Her aura is off. She's off. She's just weird as hell. I don't know, y'all. What are your thoughts? What are your your opinions? But that was crazy.
It's so great seeing JD Vance and Erika Kirk embrace in a very normal, friends giving friends, hands through the hair type of hug that we all give our friends of the opposite sex, right? Isn't that? Oh, you don't run your hands through somebody else's hair or get that and be cheek to fucking cheek like that. And this looks like it's, a middle school dance, like 1, a mega dream come true, 2, like you got the hands right there on the hips, you got that distance, they'd say, leave room for the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. This speculation is now going. Rumors are running rampant. I don't know, but does she look like more of the MAGA poster child than Mrs. Vance does right now? What would be the natural thing to upgrade? The blue-eyed, blonde-haired, uber-Christian woman. Yeah, so are we going to see something? I don't know. Is this nothing? I don't know. You be the judge. But it sure looks like an odd way to greet your friend.
So this all started when a video went viral showing Erika Kirk, the wife of the late Charlie Kirk, sharing what looked like a friendly hug with Senator JD Vance.
Now, normally a hug wouldn't be newsworthy, but this one, it hit the timeline and the internet said, oh, we are going to analyze this shit.
Mm-hmm. And before you know it, clip were getting slowed down. People zooming in, body language, facial expression, everything, because you already know when Black Twitter catches something that looks even slightly awkward, it's over.
I know, and the Black Twitter being Black Twitter, as we all know, the reactions were gold. And one person even said that hug looks like a church hug gone wrong. I know. Yeah. But another one wrote that sis leaned in like she was signing a peace treaty, not greeting a politician. I know, the jokes are hilarious.
But here's what made it even more interesting. Some Black folks were talking about how that hug symbolized more than just two people greeting each other. It's the mix of politics, image, and race all wrapped into one viral moment.
People are saying we can't even see a hug without thinking about what it represents. And that's real, because sometimes it's not even about the hug itself. It's about the energy behind it. And let's be honest, Black people have a sixth sense when it comes to weird vibes.
And we don't even need full context. We just see something, off, and go. That didn't sit right.
Yeah, and we have to fully investigate this shit, because this is the widow of the late Charlie Kirk. She must have a good image when it comes to the society, and the recent hugs she has been given recently after the death of her husband have been creepy and weird as shit. I mean, it all started with Trump's hug, and it was so smoochy. It was like,
heavens.
I mean, this is a widow you're talking about. But how do you think? What do you think about it?
I think sometimes when you are
mourning,
not even mourning, when you're a celebrity, you have to mind what you do in public, because we people, we like to see everything and watch everything and talk about everything.
And for a mourner, and her being the wife of the late Charlie Kirk, don't you think she should at least be appealing to the crowd and at least act decent? Because I mean, you just lost your husband a while ago. The late Charlie Kirk has a family, friends, and you can imagine everyone sitting there and watching you giving weird hugs to prominent people.
But guys, don't you think it was just a free hug?
Hug. Come on, did you see the hug? Did you guys see the hug?
Let's stop overthinking. You're just giving her stress, and it was just a hug, a normal hug.
For Trump's hug, we can blame Trump on that, because he was the one who was so close on Erika Kirk. But for this Erika Kirk and JD Vance hug, it was so tight and cozy. Come on, it was so...
Come on, people. Don't you think we are overthinking? Or are we on the right path?
Tell us in the comments below how you feel about the weird, awkward hug of Erika Kirk and JD Vance in the comments. Finally, credit goes to all the respective owners of the clips and content used in our video. Your thoughts and perspective made today's work possible.
And if you found this video helpful and you really want to see more of this, kindly give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe for us. We really appreciate if you do so. See you in the next video.